your boy DJ Wolf here, riding along on the DMV with these crazy ass people driving along here on the Beltway in the DMV. Hey, a couple things just dawned on me. There was a shooting that happened. I think it was New Orleans. It was the shooting of former NFL player Will Smith, who was killed a couple of days ago. And I just saw the video this morning. Smith had bumped the guy's car. Okay, I seen the video. All right, he was following real close to the guy who shot him. The guy was in the Smith was driving a Mercedes SUV, and the guy was driving a Hummer SUV. And Smith was following close to him, and he bumped the guy. So when the guy had pulled up a little bit, he get ready to pull over, and as soon as he did that, Smith took off. And this is actually what happened. Next thing you know, they said when the guy caught up with Smith, Smith got out the car, and then they had a confrontation. And the next thing you know, Smith got popped 6 times with his chest, man, and then he died on the scene, apparently. And they shot his wife with his leg. Now, don't get me wrong. Although Smith was wrong for bumping the guy, he probably shouldn't have fled the scene, number one. Number two, he shouldn't have got out of the car. And, especially if the guy was hostile to him. And which leads to number 3, probably should have called the cops right behind that. And number 4, you did a hit and run. I'm not giving Smith, I'm not saying that he was right about what he did, but there was no reason to shoot the guy 6 times. I mean, come on, really? Now, that leads to another story that I heard about this morning. Sometime today was happened right out here in the DMV, out in Virginia. Guy, he shot. I think he shot. They say he shot somebody or shot at somebody. Dude pulled out the firearm on him because the guy was following him too closely. He didn't do anything. I'm like, really? What's wrong with people, man? Just now, a minute ago, I'm driving along to get on the Beltway. Guy trying to force me out of my lane. I mean, literally force me out of my lane. We're side by side. Instead of you actually moving up so you can announce me that you're trying to get over, he just want to go in like he's about to go in and hit me. Force me out of my daggone lane. I'm not crazy about driving the Beltway as this, but I do what I do, and I can hang with the best of them. Because I've been driving for 35 years on the road. So anyway, I just thought that bring that up because people, you need to start using your heads, man, when you're out here dealing with traffic and dealing with other drivers, man. It takes a lot of patience and a lot of calmness to deal with stuff. Now, don't get me wrong. I may, I know some people say I may not be the most calm, active person at times. I mean, I think I am. I try to be reasonable on everything I do. I really do. And some people will get you a little steam, but you have to maintain your composure. Especially when you're doing stuff, when you're operating a motor vehicle. You really do. Because everybody's safety is on the line. That's the bottom line. Everybody's safety is on the line here. So you really got to be cautious and be thoughtful of others, man. I think this world is got to be a point sometime where people just it's a selfish world at times. People only think of what they have to do. They don't think about anybody else a lot of times. They don't think about the well-being of others at times, especially when you operate a motor vehicle or you actually, doing other activities, man. You got to think about it. And I think that probably was leading me to wanting to become a better person as a whole, and probably why I started going back to church, because I want to be a better me. I've said it for years, I still do. Because people are selfish as hell anymore. I mean, I can see on the roads, they do it all the time. They'll bump into you, they don't give a damn. I mean, that's happened to me a couple of times over the years. People will ride you in the lane, they'll ride your bumper all day, they don't give a damn. It's just selfish. It's just a selfish act, and I think on most levels, God doesn't want you to be selfish. He don't want you to be selfish around other people, period. And definitely doesn't want you to be, and yeah, I'm bringing it up because I think when I see stuff like this, that's what I refer to is what would, Jesus do? What would God do? What would Jesus want you to do? And I'm learning it more and more every day. Because you got some crazy fools out here anymore, man. People just don't take the time to think of others, man. Think of others' well-being. I think if we took the time as a whole, not just as a family or just a community or just a city or just a country, but just a world, and think about, well-being others, because not everybody, have the opportunity to be as fortunate as others. And that's true. I'll admit that. And I do try to think of others often, I really do. But I think in general, just be, I think it would be a much better world instead of all this BS that's going on today, man. Donald Trump today crying about, I don't think it's fair that, I can't give so many votes. Just shut up. Just sick of him, man. And he talking about, the establishment. I'm like, you asswipe. You are the establishment. Seriously? I'm like, Donald Trump, Ted Cruz, and the like, and Hillary Clinton are the establishment, period. That's what they are. No doubt about that. And I'm going to leave it at that. And like I said, I'm still in debate right now who I'm seriously going to vote for. And I even heard somebody in the office was saying that they're thinking about voting for Bernie Sanders. I haven't even officially made up my mind who I'm voting for. I really have no clue right now. I'm not campaigning for any of these guys, but I definitely don't know who I'm voting for, if I vote at all. Because they always say vote in your best interest. And right now, I'm not interested in voting for any of these guys. Because none of them, I feel it really supports my interest 100%. None of them. Not even Bernie Sanders. I'm not sold on any of them. And I would never tell anybody don't vote. I would never say that. I'm just saying, I don't know what I'm going to do. But I'm going to tell these young people out here, you better vote. You need to vote. I voted. I voted before. But you can't sit there and cry, spill milk, and talk about, ain't nobody doing nothing for me. At the same token, you ain't trying to go out there and talk to these candidates and find out what it is, where their heads at and all of that. And I had made a suggestion that I still think is a great suggestion. I think if you, and this for any and all the candidates, if you're elected to the positions that you are going to run for, you should put in pen and in writing of those efforts that you are feasible, that you are able to actually set out to do. Put in writing that you're going to adhere to the promise that you're going to make. I would be completely sold if they were able to do that in writing, because you got guys that always making these campaign promises and they never back up anything they say, ever. Forever, ever. Never, ever. That's the problem too. They'll say one thing and do another, and these elected officials, they all do the same thing. They don't say what they mean, and they don't always mean what they say. For me, that's always been an issue. But if you're the real deal as far as an elected official, you're going to hold your own feet to the fire and keep your word, and don't make it all about you like a lot of these politicians do. After all, you were once somebody before you became a real somebody, before you became a somebody in this world. And I kind of feel personally, man, if you're really about the people, don't talk about it, be about it. That's all I got to say on that. I got more to say on the back burner. Any questions or comments or any concerns about what I'm saying, or any agreements, disagreements, or debates, Doesn't matter. You know, or on this or any other topic I discuss. Give me a holler. I'm at foralltohear@gmail.com. I can also be reached out at foralltohear on Twitter and foralltohear TV on YouTube, guys. Okay, guys, this is DJ Wolf. I'm getting a little late start on this podcast tonight. Hopefully, by sometimes weekend, I've been promising to do another live show. I haven't done anything, and frankly, I haven't been getting a lot of response. And I actually would like to get my Blog Talk Radio back to where I like to have it, but unfortunately, there's been some technical issues with it, and I don't know if I'm going to bring it back. I like to, but I probably keep on Spreaker because, it's, like I said, I love Spreaker. Thank you, Spreaker. The quality is much better. I will say that. The only thing I need to do is get a phone number to attach to it on Skype, and we're set. And I'm still working on that, guys. So, in any case, this is DJ Wolf.